Hello, and welcome to another bite-sized marketing session with me, Miles, from Miles Marketing. And this week the observant people will see that we're now back the right way around. For some reason, the setting had been changed where it flipped things around. So apologies last week where I was showing you things and they weren't going to make any sense. This week, we're talking all about drop shipping and print on demand. So hopefully I can shed some light on, it's a topical thing, I think, especially within the social media realms. Now, by all means, leave a comment in the chat. If you have some questions, please let me know about them. But full disclosure, this is a pre-recording. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be live this week at 12:30. You never know. If I am around, I will be able to check in and answer any questions you may well have. But, as I have a commitment to be here and show up, I'm pre-recording this for you. Okay, here we go. Let's dive in. Drop shipping and print on demand. Let's talk a little bit sort of about how it works. So drop shipping is order fulfillment. It's an order fulfillment method where the business doesn't actually hold the stock. All right. So it's quite hard to get your head around, really. And there are some sort of pros and cons to using this. One of the biggest pros, I think, is that you don't have to hold stock. You don't have to forward buy stock. You don't have to, have a large inventory or a big warehouse and a team to fulfill that and service that. I suppose one of the big downsides is that you also then don't necessarily have control over those sort of aspects. So you can either find your own supplier to supply you with the sort of the drop shipment, or the products, I should say, or you can use an app or a web service where you can go on and they will connect you with thousands of suppliers. So you can either go and find your own supplier of widgets, or you can go on to Deezer. It uses AliExpress. You may have heard of Alibaba. And so there are portals out there which will allow you to search, if you like, across thousands of products and pick the ones that you want to sell. Okay, so let's just talk about maybe the 4 steps to drop shipping. And we'll talk about drop shipping specifically, and we'll come on to print on demand in a second. So the first one is that the customer places their order from your online store. Then the second thing they do is your online store automatically sends the order to your drop shop supplier. Drop ship supplier. Maybe that's a different video altogether. So so first of all, someone places an order through your website, then your website is connected to your drop shipping company. They get the order. That supplier then processes and prepares the order, and then your drop shipper supplies the order directly to the customer. So in essence, you're a middle person that just acts as the merchant, I suppose, and you are reliant on this onward chain to fulfill your orders. Okay, so hopefully that's sort of making sense. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the benefits from utilizing drop shipping. Less upfront capital. I think that's quite obvious. You haven't got to invest in your stock, which potentially sitting in your warehouse, potentially depreciating in value that you have to discount, etc., etc., etc. It's very easy to start. All right, you can get up and running and started very quickly. Very low overheads. You can be extremely flexible about the location. So you can have a website that operates worldwide, but you can be anywhere in the world when you're operating your business. You can choose from a wide range of products, as long as the company that you're dealing with is a specialist drop ship company, if you like, in that respect. They will be used to fulfilling all of your needs. And it's easy to test different products. So let's say that you started, I don't know, you started supplying bicycle parts, right? Because of the flexible nature of this, and you don't have to pre-invest in different bicycle parts to pull them in, you can trial what works best. You can have two tires that are the same, if you like, or slightly different at different price points, so you can see which one sells more and structure things around that way. You can scale up your business to specialize in tires, or you can specialize in bike tools. Does that make sense? You can be really flexible about the products that you offer, and it allows an easy scale then of the business. All right, because like I say, you're not restricted necessarily by the number of units you've got in your warehouse at the time. So those are some of the benefits. Let's talk about some of the drawbacks, because there's always going to be some drawbacks. A lot of people refer to this as like a get rich quick scheme on social media, especially. People are like, find out how I made £1 million. Well, look, these things don't happen overnight, not unless you are lucky enough to jump on a trend like TikTok leggings or whatever, right? Most things in life that are worth getting take a while to graft at, right? So some of the drawbacks: low profit margin. Ultimately, you're a middle person, right? So the drop shipper, they are going to take a larger cut than if you were to buy wholesale and have all those overheads yourself. So there's low profit margins involved. There can be inventory issues. So you are reliant on your supplier to hold enough stock. If you like, things aren't running smoothly, you could be offering a product for sale that perhaps isn't in stock anymore. All right, so that could cause you some issues. Now, here's one of the big ones. Maybe, let's use the bicycle shop analogy. Maybe some customers come onto your website and they've bought a new tire, they've bought an inner tube, and they've bought a hand pump. Right now, you might not use the same drop shipping company to supply all of those different parts. Maybe you've gone out and found the best supplier of tires, the best supplier of inner tubes, and the best supplier of pumps. 3 different drop shippers. Your customer may well incur 3 separate shipping charges. Okay, so that's one of the drawbacks there. Supplier errors. So even though you are the merchant and you're taking the people's money, so that's who you've got your contract, that's who they have got their contract with you, not the drop shipper. There can be issues with what people have ordered not being the right thing. So, you can get embroiled in the sort of the darker side of customer service. And, you have limited ways in which you can sort of brand your products, if you like. So let's say that using the bicycle analogy as well, let's say that I bought in 1,000 sets of tires and I had them sitting in a warehouse or in my front room. I could, if I wanted to, package those up, brand them. When I send them out, they could be in some nice sort of branded packaging, Miles's bicycles. But when you do this from the drop shipping point of view, there's limited sort of branding or customization that you can do. Okay, so there we go. That's some of the drawbacks. So there's drop shipping. It's not that complex, but I think, you need to go into it with your eyes open. Now, what about print on demand, and why have I sort of bundled these 2 topics together? Look, they are particularly separate, right? But they are the same. So it is drop shipping, but it's for customized merchandise, basically. So think of print on demand as to print or embroider or to do anything specific on a garment or an item or even a printed product, right? So think about sort of these sort of 5 steps in terms of print on demand. There are a number, just before I start there are a number of different websites which offer this specific print on demand service. Printify, Printful, all of the printy stuff websites. You can look them up online. But ultimately, this is about personalization. And one of the big sort of hot things within retail is the sort of the micro personalization now. Not so long ago, for me to have printed Miles Marketing polo shirts, I'd have had to have placed orders of hundreds or maybe even thousands to to be able to get these produced. Now you can go online and you can get one-off items. Okay, so these are one of the nice things about getting a mug that's personalized, or a t-shirt that's personalized, or a nice bit of printed wares, or whatever it may be. So here are the 5 steps. You pick a product, you customize it, you preview a sample, you publish it to your site, right? Then you, if you like, have personalized this as an offering, or you can offer it personalized to the end user. So there are a number of different ways in which you can do this. You can either let's take t-shirts as an example. So perhaps rather than give people the option to customize a t-shirt for themselves, maybe you do a run of funny t-shirts and put them onto your website for people to buy. Ultimately, people do like to sort of just click and get something, right, rather than customizing it, but the options are there. So let's not forget that you are the merchant here and you are responsible for customer service. Okay, right. I mean, it didn't need to take long, right? But drop shipping, print on demand, it's something which may be right for you. It may be something that's right for your business. It may not even be your core business. This might be a sort of a side hustle. Let's say that you've got this sort of witty sense of humor and you're good at spotting trends. Maybe you start an online t-shirt brand and keep your eye on the latest Netflix documentary, the latest trend that's coming out on TikTok, and you jump on the bandwagon and produce t-shirts with the slogan, the logo, whatever it is on there that's very sort of now. Okay, let's not forget though that you still need to market these things. All right, you're not just gonna become an instant millionaire. You're going to need to have marketing channels. You're going to need to have an Instagram page or a TikTok profile or whatever it may be. Definitely going to need to have a website to manage these things. Although you could create this solely on Instagram as an example. So I think it's important to stress it's not a get rich quick scheme, although some people will push it as it is. You will need to optimize your site for SEO. Perhaps you'll need to pay to play. You'll need to do some PPC. You'll definitely have to do some social selling, but make sure that you pick the right platform for you. And the right platform might be Etsy. It might be Amazon. Who knows, right? But do your research. Make sure that it's the right platform. So, I think it's a great start to have a side hustle. It's reasonably risk-free. All right, you are going to have to invest something in the creation of website, marketing, promotions, etc. But you can start off small and build yourself up. I think you want to sort of think about looking for trending products to promote, and there are people out there now these days who offer software services. I spoke to a gentleman recently where he has a piece of software that you can buy for a particular amount of money a month, and it keeps an eye on all of the trending items on big platforms like Amazon, and you can jump on the back of them. Look out for those. I'm going to leave you with one last word of advice though, right? And that is this: pick your partners carefully. Okay. Pick your partners carefully. If you're offering, like, if you want to offer a really good personal service, you might want to put yourself in between the drop shipper and the customer. So by that, I mean, you set up your website, the customer places the order through your website, that gets pushed off to the drop shipping company, they process it, and rather than them sending it to the end customer direct, perhaps they send it to you first. You can then take the opportunity to inspect it, make sure it is what they ordered, and then you might want to repackage things up and forward it on. Okay. You might want to, is what I'm saying. All right. But you need to think about things like shipping charges and make sure there's enough margin in there for you. So there we go. That is drop shipping and print on demand in a nutshell. I very much hope that you've enjoyed this. I'm sorry that I am not live, as it were, so I've not been able to call out and comment as I normally would. But I'm sure you appreciate that I can't be live every single Tuesday at 12:30, although I try. So until next week and next time, ta-ta for now.